I'll just click record like that and we're going.
That's it. That's the one. Are you going to do like an intro or anything?
I don't know. What do you reckon for an intro?
Well, I think you'd want to do a bit of an actual first liner, wouldn't you? Like going like,
"Hi,
yeah,
we're Feature Freaks."
It's good already.
This is Feature Freaks movie podcast with Dave and Mark. I'm not going to do that voice all the way through because that'd just be absolutely insane. But there you go. I have actually already started recording, so we're recording all that bit.
That's fine. You got it. That's the intro.
That is the intro. We need some kind of cool music for it. Can you hum out?
I mean, my beatboxing skills are what they used to be. I'll pull out of the bag.
Well, I've got zero beatboxing skills.
I need to turn it off.
Oh, I thought we got some theme music then. There was some music playing in the background. I thought I were having a mental breakdown or it was actual theme music. So yeah, we just thought we'd set this up just to kind of talk about films, didn't we? And just have a bit of a laugh, see what happens, see what comes out the back of it. And when we're massive and famous, people will be downloading this one when they go back into archives and seeing how shit we actually were when we start it up. There we go. That's the explicit badge that it's getting already.
So flag that nice and early.
Flag it nice and early. Yeah. There might be a bit of swearing in this, but who cares? So yeah, we're just going to chat about films and what we've seen, see what happens and what have you. I have a bit of an idea of doing kind of the top 10 films at cinema and kind of just going through, but doing every film and just giving it a 10-word review.
Oh God! Right.
Yeah, so literally 10 words.
Not one word each.
But the fun. Oh, that'd be an interesting way of doing it.
Good bad. Done. Melissa McCarthy.
No, but I've planned my 10 words, but you've not, so I'm going to bet you try and do them on spot.
Yeah, that's fair. I work best under pressure.
Yeah, that's all I like. So I'll tell you what, I'll give you what movie number 10 is at cinema at the moment.
Alright.
I think you saw this one. Did you see Life of the Party?
No, I haven't seen that one with Melissa McCarthy.
So, well, that 10 words? No, I've not seen that one with Melissa McCarthy. Oh. There's your 10 words. Mine one, Melissa McCarthy is Melissa McCarthy. Has its moments, works sometimes.
Yeah, that sounds about right from the trailer.
That more or less sums up every single Melissa McCarthy film. They're usually awful, but yeah.
Which, to her defence though, I know this is going over 10 words now, but I don't really think it's her fault. More times than not, the writing, unless she has a word in it, if she's actually telling people, I'll tell you what, be a great joke, lads, then she's ruining it.
The problem is her characters in every film she's in is written in the exact same way, and I don't know if it's just how she just acts it or whether there's actually people telling her to do that or what.
Probably, because she does seem to be typecast. Because I said to you before that spy movie I actually thought was quite good. My dad really wanted to watch that.
I've not seen that yet.
And it's worth a watch actually enough, because it's basically just her having to become like a proper like James Bond style spy, and there's Jude Law in there, there's Jason Statham, and it's got some good names in it that kind of help carry along. But her role is quite funny because it's very much, like how I Feel Pretty is the Amy Schumer version of Shallow Hal. Yeah. This is the Melissa McCarthy version of Johnny English.
Oh, fair play, yeah. And I do like Johnny English, but yeah, I'll give it a try. I've actually got it at home. Yeah. I've actually got it unwrapped because I won it in a work raffle also, and it just got thrown on a shelf somewhere, and I'm like, I am never watching that. But on your recommendation, I probably still won't watch it.
Yeah, I would say 5 out of 10.
Number 9 in top 10 is Peter Rabbit. Now, you've seen this, because we went to see this, didn't we? We took My Little one.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. 10 words. I'm just padding these out now, out of accent.
Yeah.
What does I'm trying to remember what the cockerel says.
Morning! It's morning again!
That basically sums up the entire movie. It's a good joke if you can lower your IQ for a bit.
That's probably about 10 words. I thought that it was surprisingly funny because I'd heard a lot of things about it. Surprisingly funny. Corden gets a lot of unnecessary, unfair stick. Because I think a lot of people actually don't want to see it just because James Corden's doing the voice, and that's kind of standard.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Number 8 is On Chesil Beach. Now, I've heard about this, never found it. In fact, my 10-word review is not seen, not really floating my boat, so not bothered.
On Chesil Beach. Oh, you explained this one to me before, because I didn't even think you were saying English words to begin with. I thought it was just some phrase.
It's some kind of, I think it's a couple of I think they're on honeymoon and then realise that they absolutely hate each other, basically. And it's set in a beach and in a hotel room.
I mean, people live this, so you have to go watch it, don't they?
Yeah, true to life. Number 7 is Blade Runner: The Final Cut. Weirdly enough, it's on Secret Cinema. Now, my 10 words were: saw years ago. Don't even know which version I saw, because there's about 15 versions of this film now. There's one with there's one with the narration on, which I think was the original one. Then there were like a director's cut, and then there were another cut, and now apparently the final cut is the one that everybody says, "Oh, this is the one that's all right." It's like, well, just get it right first time.
I think it's only the director's cut of the original one I've seen, but then it's quite a long movie. So at the same time, I'm going to ruin a lot of people's days now by basically saying that you only remember parts of it. By the end of it, you get the famous lines out of it. You enjoy Harrison Ford and go, "That's some good CG." Next. And then the new Gosling version does the same thing. It's got a few good moments, really good CG, but it's quite long, so you enjoy it.
I particularly like it when Bonesaw turns up and attacks. Oh no, that's Running Man, isn't it? Not Blade Runner.
So I thought you were going to say the first Peter Parker, Spider-Man, now in with what's his name now?
Oh, with yeah,
Randy Savage.
Randy Savage is Bonesaw, isn't it? Is he Bonesaw in? Is it Bonesaw in Spider-Man?
Yeah.
What's he called?
I got you for 3 minutes of playtime.
I'm completely getting confused. I was thinking he was in. It's Jesse Ventura. It was in.
He's the one in Running Man.
What a
I wish Bonesaw were in Running Man.
What a complete cock up of a reference that one. Number whatever we're on now, 6. Is I Feel Pretty.
Oh, yeah.
I'll let you go first on this one. We did see this one, haven't we?
Yeah, forced at gunpoint by a fiancée to go watch I Feel Pretty. And it was much better than anticipated, but it is still just the modern retelling of Shallow Hal. It's exactly what you expect it to be.
Yeah, that were a bit more than 10 words, but I'll let you off. My 10 words were Amy Schumer's image issues. Problem is, she's quite hot, actually. The whole film is based around her thinking that she's vile when she's not.
The bad thing I find with Amy Schumer at the moment, she gets a lot of bad sticks because she's basically the reason why they changed Netflix's review system, because she did a lot of those stand-up shows and everyone just absolutely annihilated her. They just went straight in with those reviews and panned it. So they basically said, we need to start changing this review system because we can't have people just bombing it because they don't like it. They've not even watched the actual show.
Wow. Number 4, an absolute classic here. Sherlock Gnomes. You've not seen this, have you? You've seen the original, haven't you? Though you've seen Romeo and Juliet.
I've seen Romeo and Juliet. Is this the second or the third one?
This is the second one. My 10 words, which more or less sums the entire thing up, is. Funniest thing about this is the film title. Don't bother. It's essentially the summary of that entire film. It didn't need to be done. It's really like milking. It's like milking a dry cow. Is that even a phrase? Milking a dry cow.
I think it is now. It's like flogging a dead horse. Because I think with this one though, even the first movie was pushing it a bit, where they had a great name. And they thought, we can make this work, Romeo and Juliet, oh, that's smart. Can anyone make a CG movie out of that, please? Thank you. That was it. Like Duck, Duck, Goose.
Yeah, don't talk to me about Duck, Duck, Goose, the worst film I've, more or less the worst film I've ever seen. It is very high on the pain list. Third, I'll give you my 10 words, see if you know what this one is. Big purple guy, tries killing superhero guys, pure emotional brilliance.
Oh, Barney the Dinosaur Returns, Judgment Day.
Barney's Revenge. Barney 2, The Lost World.
The new batch. Oh, The Lost World, yes.
What do you think to Avengers?
Seen it 3 times. I think that's enough for a review, innit? It's just keep going.
That kind of sums it up, yeah. Seen it 3 times. Yeah, I think I've seen it. Yeah, I think I've seen it 3 times now as well.
Listen, I mean, I've paid for IMAX for it twice. It's just that. It's just great. It's probably the best movie to date for me as a movie. So not like your favourite or not. Everything about it is perfect. It's just as a movie, it does everything you wanted it to do if you'd been following Marvel. If you haven't been, there's still no point just to sit there and go, I have no idea what's happening. That's
the point. I think it's same with what the next... In fact, the 2 films that are above it are more or less that same. If you're not bought into the series anyway, you're probably not going to like them. So I remember I wrote my reviews on them, and I remember I wrote on my Avengers review when I saw it. If you're not an Avengers fan, you're probably going to hate it. If you are an Avengers fan, you're going to love it. There's no kind of 2 ways about it. It's you're either going to love it because you love it anyway, and even if they've churned out Age of Ultron again, you'd probably still love it. But
yeah,
you know what I mean?
Ultron was a bit of not a dud, but I think a lot of people kind of see it as the weaker link, though, don't they?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly so. Number 2, Deadpool 2.
Oh, yeah. That's me.
Yeah, go for it, yeah. Yeah, you.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
I can't really think of a good way to summarise 10 words. Yeah, if you like the first one, you like this one. That's probably the best you can summarise it.
Yeah, I put hilariously better than the first.
Oh.
Literally fourth wall break the movie.
Well, yeah.
Because it is. It takes that fourth wall breaking kind of to a whole new level. Like, insanely so. And everything about it is just... I thought it was hilarious. I thought it was way better than the first one. I think the first one had that kind of shock factor of it being a new kind of thing.
Yeah.
But then because of how they play on it in this one, it comes together so well.
It's strong. I mean, you know Ryan Reynolds loves doing it, and so he just puts it all in for it. And I imagine he ad-libs a lot of stuff, to be fair, so it's all generally just him having a good time, and then there's CG in the rest.
I expect so. And the number 1 film in the UK this last week is Solo, Star Wars Saga.
Yes.
Star Wars Story. Saga.
Solo Saga.
Solo Star Wars Story.
Star Night Solo Star Story. Yeah, this one, the best way to summarise that is it's getting bad press for no reason. Because it's great.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. I went into it hearing a lot of bad reviews, not making as much money as it should have been, and things like that. And my 10 words were: origin movie, fits into the saga perfectly, complete surprise package. And the only reason it's a surprise package is because I'd seen all those bad reviews and everybody slagging it off. And I went and thought, that was pretty good, that.
Yeah.
That was pretty damn good.
For me, personally, because I'm a big Star Wars fan, and it kind of comes part and parcel with anything if you're into that kind of culture, it's probably, and this is where I'm really sad that it's not doing so well, it's probably up there as one of the top ones for me right now, because it's got that standalone value and charm to it that Rogue One did, where it makes you remember the nostalgia for the first movies, but it's not so hinged on, oh, I love this one, after you've watched the other one.
Yeah. No, and I think you can go away if you just want to pick one out. If you're just gonna say I'm gonna watch a single Star Wars film today, you're probably not gonna pick one of the original 3.
No.
You're definitely not gonna pick Phantom Menace or definitely not Attack of the Clones anyway. But with stuff like Rogue One and this, I think it's just nice you'd just be able to pick it up and watch it as a standalone, completely standalone, and obviously still knowing all the things that are in it. Obviously, I think like with Deadpool and Avengers, if you're not bought into Star Wars, I think you just so much of it's going to get lost on you. You'll be like, what's a Kessel?
Well, yeah, I mean, that's the
parsec?
thing. It is basically just a love letter to fans, yet for some reason, and I think this all boils down to like Disney's marketing or how they've done it. For the longest time, I wasn't super excited about it. I know that you weren't too bothered either before we even saw trailers, because Han's not my favourite character. I know he's a lot to a lot of people and all that, but I'm a big fan of all the Jedi stuff and things, so normally I need a Star Wars movie to have a lightsaber to really enjoy it. But I thought that, it'll still be a good story, though, and it'd be nice to get some more time in the universe. And once I saw the trailers, I thought, they've done this really well. It should be enjoyable. But I think a lot of people just got turned off straight away at, like, well, what's the point in watching a Han Solo movie? Like, if it's not the core ones, that I'll wait a year.
Well, there you go. That's the top 10. We were going to do it in 10 words each, but that ended up being about 20 minutes of just talking, 30 minutes of just talking about the films.
Top 10 seconds each.
Top 10 minutes each. Is that what we're going to go to from now on? 100 minutes, just padding out with the top 10 films.
Top 10 reviews starting now.
Let's talk about the top 10 films ever in depth. And give one podcast per film. Just do the first 10.
Might as well.
I've no else planned. I've not even thought about what we're going to throw together for all this today. So have you gone out about? Are you thinking about that's coming up soon that you're kind of getting excited? Oh, hang on, I missed one out. I've just realised I missed one at top films out, and I've no idea why I missed this one out.
What's your number?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I jumped from I Feel Pretty to Sherlock Gnomes.
Right.
And I completely forgot about Show Dogs.
Oh, well.
And the reason is because my 10 words for that are worst film ever, not funny, don't know why it was made. It is atrocious. It is very forgettable, and that's probably why I skipped it by accident when I were going through.
Well, yeah, I mean, I'm not going to lie. I know you were taking Alfie to go see Your Little Un, but this is the kind of movie that I don't see what the appeal is to anyone, but the problem is, it still looks like they put a budget behind that, and I can't see how they're ever going to make that money back.
It's just poorly done, so poorly done. I know there's been a lot said about the there's a certain couple of scenes in it that got deleted out in America and stuff like that, which I'm not going to go into details about what it would actually meant to be portrayed, what people have read into it, but it's pretty vile. But I think it's unjustified, that, in all honesty. The fact of the matter is, the film itself is shit. And that is why you shouldn't see it. Not because of a dog's balls getting fondled.
Oh, is that what they've taken out?
Essentially, yeah. So basically, there's a scene where, because the dogs are going to shows, he's infiltrating a dog show to find out who's stolen a panda, because these things happen in Vegas.
Is Jim Carrey playing with the dogs?
No, he's not. And then when... and so basically he has to, the dog has to learn that the judges in the show are going to basically be handling his balls, because that's what they do when they check like the back end of the dogs.
Mm-hmm. Not the front end.
No, yeah. During the judging, and some people have come out and said that kind of when the people are doing it and they're training him how to kind of handle it, one of the other dogs is saying to him, "Go to your happy place, go into your Zen mode, go into your happy place," and a lot of people, weirdly enough, are linking it to paedophilia, and they're saying that it's essentially the same tactics that get used by paedophiles to entice kids in. So in America, those scenes have been completely edited out of the film because there's been uproar about it. But at the end of the day, it's just a film about dogs that talk, and it's funny because they're copying a feel of his balls. Yeah. There's nothing sinister about it whatsoever. I can kind of see where they're coming from.
I can't. I mean, for me, you already lost me at people have linked it to pedophilia is the starting point, but then that asks more questions to me of, who is an expert on pedophilia? Like, who's got the degree and saying, do you know what, this is what we all use? Like, you what, eh? Don't you worry about my dog moving. I'm worried about you and where you live.
So yeah, they edited it out in America, but the BBFC turned around and said that they didn't find out wrong with it. So here in the UK, we get to see the awful, goddamn awful film in all its dog ball handling goodness. It's awful. Don't bother going to see that. It is literally horrific. There's some good films coming out actually.
There is a lot of good films coming out. You've got Dwayne Johnson's Skyscraper very soon.
Skyscraper with the most unimaginably impossible jump in the history of cinema. If nobody's seen this yet, watch the trailer first, but then go and search out. I think it's just like Dwayne Johnson's skyscraper memes. There is some basically in the trailer. He's gonna jump from a crane into a burning building, but the crane is so far away from the building. There is nobody on this planet who would ever be able to make that jump, whether you were a free runner or what. But yeah, there's basically memes everywhere about where Dwayne Johnson should fall, and it's nowhere near where it looks like he does fall in the film.
I mean, he's got a prosthetic leg moving. I'm not actually sure. I don't really know.
It's a prosthetic leg. It's not a rocket powered leg. He's not going to jump off a crane and go gadget leg and go straight through a window. Unless he is. Maybe that's the twist.
Dwayne's done a lot of movies. I'm sure he can afford a rocket powered leg by now. Let's be real.
I mean, that would absolutely just all these fanboys have been taking piss and memeing it everywhere. Can you imagine the shock on their face when he actually does miss, but then just goes, just propels himself back up?
I mean, he might always pull a Mary Poppins like they did in Star Wars, which you can say lightly because that's not a spoiler.
Yeah. Or even Guardians of the Galaxy. I'm Mary fucking. What is it? I'm Mary fucking Poppins. It says.
Oh, he's great.
Is that the first? Is that the second Guardians
of the Galaxy? Second one, yeah.
Yeah.
Because it might be your father beating your daddy.
That's the one. Old Yondu. Is it Yondu?
It is Yondu.
It is Yondu.
Well remembered.
God, I'm crap with names in films. I am poor. Very poor.
Well, it's all good. I mean, speaking of Marvel, that goes on to your next one that's coming out soon. We've got Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Yeah.
You're not excited about
that? No.
Can you answer more than just going,
yeah. I wasn't fussed about... the first Ant-Man were alright.
Yeah.
And I think they needed it so that you could see why he was in Civil War.
Uh-huh.
But then to have him just not even appear in Infinity War, I'm hoping
Spoiler, I suppose.
Yeah.
He's on the trailer.
He's not in the trailer. He's nowhere to be seen. I mean, he does get referenced, but I want there to be an actual, real, legitimate reason why he's not in. That's actually going to be passable and not just be because we want to do an origin film for him. A second origin film. Is that an origin film?
Let's just continue on his plot now, isn't it? Because I mean, I'm quite excited for it because in the first one, Ant-Man's the weird like Marvel thing where no kids are going, oh, I want to go see Ant-Man, I want to dress up as him and be like, he's not that. He's not the flagship one, is it? He's been cast really well with Paul Rudd because they kind of just wanted that comedic Marvel movie, but like a lighter family version. So it's not your Deadpool, it's your straight up, you can watch this, it's dead easy to get into. He goes small and he goes big, that's his powers. Great.
And he's massively strong. He's really strong, isn't he? Yeah, he's got super strength, hasn't he, when he's small.
Yeah, it explains it in the first one.
Effectively, like an ant.
Yeah.
It can carry leaves up branches.
I mean, I suppose the appeal of the new one, like even from the trailers, it looks like there's like a massive like Pez dispenser at one point, and the van goes tiny. It's bits like that where you watch it and you go, "This is a bit surreal," so it's just different to watch.
Yeah, but what annoys me is I'm watching the trailer for it, and basically in the trailer it looks like there's some kind of bad guy who's coming to take over the world.
Yeah.
And then bear in mind we're in the same universe that the whole of the Avengers are in. Now I don't know where it fits into the timeline, but if it's before the events of Infinity War, for example, without spoiling Infinity War, if something's come to take over the world and where were the Avengers?
So I mean, you've just hit the big plot hole that is Marvel films in a nutshell.
Yeah.
Name every Marvel movie where, oh no, Thor, something's kicking off and stuff. No one's known about it. Tony Stark sat in his hot tub going, well, I don't need to worry about this for another year.
Yeah, nobody phones anybody though, do they?
Well, no.
No, it's not like Tony Stark's. It's not like Ant-Man's updating his Facebook status and saying, running into a lot of trouble here, guys, I could do with a bit of help. It's not real world.
At the Avengers.
Yeah, tagging them all in. At Tony Stark.
Yeah, he did. But no, I think he'll be alright. It won't be the best, but it'll be good. And I think everyone's very excited about it because with how good Infinity War's done, everyone just needs a bit more Marvel right now, so they'll take it gladly.
Because what have we got else Marvel-wise? We've got that coming in, we've got Captain Marvel.
Yeah.
That's next year though, isn't it?
Correct.
There's another one later this year though. I'm sure there is.
We've not seen any more trailers, so if it's been like on the... I mean, we went for Captain Marvel either, so if it's in the timeline... Because I don't think there is. I thought it was Ant-Man and the Wasp, Captain Marvel, then Avengers 4. And then is it
next year, Avengers 4?
Correct, next year.
We're getting one straight away.
Straight away, yeah. And then after that, you've got Spider-Man Homecoming 2 and Guardians of the Galaxy 3. In their timeline from what they announced before. Although no one knows how any of these are going to actually have any stories at the moment now because there's no trailers for anything. So it's kind of like, well, we're just going to wait and see them. But I'm hoping they don't kind of flog these things too much because Guardians 1 and 2 are really good. But you kind of ask the question of, well, what's the deal for Guardians 3 going to be? Like Spider-Man as well, he's a good hero and I enjoy it a lot. But it's kind of like, if you've done Homecoming now, do you need to keep that name in there to keep it separate? And then by the third one, are we basically going to see Peter grow up? Because I'd be happy with that. But I think they announced that it's going to be Mysterio in the next one.
Rey Mysterio.
Not
Booyaka, booyaka, 619. He's just going to come in and 619 Tony Stark.
Funnily enough, I think it's actually going to be Jake Gyllenhaal playing him as well. I think that was announced very recently.
Really?
Yeah, I know. But he does do a very good creepy act. Like if you've ever seen Nightcrawler. Is he called Nightcrawler? The one where he's the photographer?
No, I've not seen that.
He's terrifying in that.
I can see that because he does look terrifying.
Oh, you might have been thinking as well, it's not technically Marvel, but it kind of is Venom.
That I was just going to say now. It's Venom coming out in October.
Yeah.
And then Dark Phoenix in February, but I don't think that's X-Men.
Phoenix. It is Dark Phoenix. But
Dark Phoenix X-Men.
So is Venom technically, but it's not X-Men. It's a different universe. They're not doing that to relate to any of the Marvel or Spider-Man stuff. It's their own standalone thing.
Yeah. Yeah, because they've announced Black Panther 2 as well, haven't they? Recently.
Oh yeah, I forgot about
that. And a Logan spin-off. Yeah, can't wait for that.
What, really?
Apparently so. There's a Logan spin-off coming.
That must be just about X-23 then, because you can't really do Logan. He said he didn't want to play it anymore.
Yeah. He's too busy playing Greatest Showman.
Well, that's what you want. You want a Greatest Showman 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6 forever.
This is the greatest Logan.
Oh god.
Oh else that we've seen around Jurassic World.
Jurassic Park. Yeah, Fallen Kingdom.
Fallen Kingdom is out next week. I'm looking forward to that because I love the Jurassic. I even like Jurassic Park 3. Yeah, I'm only one in the world who does.
I only seem to remember that one though is the sad thing for me because that was the last one before these new ones came out that I saw at the cinema, but I was a better age to know it then. The ones before were a bit early for me.
To be fair, I say I like it, but I can only remember one bit, and it's where they're in those cages and there's like pterodactyls flying around them.
You just named any Jurassic Park movie to me.
They're like in some kind of like treetop cages. It's like and they're like going around, but it's not the best one. But I liked World when that came out, so I think this one, Jurassic World 2, is good. I think it's going to. Is it Fallen Kingdom? I think it's going to. I think it's probably going to do massively well in cinemas.
It'll do well. Everyone will go see it still because it's a safe bet. Mate, my dad was saying quite a good point though that he's worried they're just going to keep flogging. Like, how many times can you go? Do you know what? We should have dinosaurs. Oh no, it's gone wrong. And I thought, well, this one does tie in well to the last one, but then after this, they either need to let it die or do something else. Because if this movie ends and that same T-Rex is there, and it's been about 10 movies now, it deserves an all day. You know, it needs to lie down.
Old Rexy. I think he gets to lie down in this because I think it shows him in the. He's in a truck on the trailer, unless that's the new one.
No, I think that is the T-Rex. I think anyway.
Yeah, I mean, I'm wanting to go see it in 4DX.
Split edition.
But 4DX is obviously where the seats move and you get spat at essentially by water. The pump smells in and air and stuff like that. Problem is, I was looking at it yesterday. There's a weight limit on those seats, and I'm over weight limit.
Oh, give up!
Apparently so. Apparently, you've got to be under 18 stone to be able to ride this ride. People of a nervous disposition and pregnant people and all that rubbish.
What?
But yeah,
roller coaster.
I know, but it does because it moves around, doesn't it? But I've tweeted them and I've tweeted Cineworld and just said, "Are we sure that is it like a strict limit, or can we can I get away with it? You know, I don't want my man boobs jiggling down too much." But I can deal with it. I can deal with being thrown around a little bit for sake of Jurassic Park.
I mean, if you just ate a load of fruit that morning, had a big movement, and then went, I'm sure you'd be great.
You can't come in here, you weigh too much. Give me 2 minutes. Nip off to the toilets, come back. Right, I'm in.
That really gaunt face. No liquid in your body.
There's been some interesting trailers come out in the last few days. I'm watching a few earlier on. There's one called Peppermint coming out, which sounds like the weirdest title for a film ever. Mm-hmm. It's Jennifer Garner, who everybody knows from Elektra, and it is essentially Taken with a woman in the lead part, and it's written by the people who did Taken and everything. And from the trailer, it's brand new as this trailer. It's literally like dropped today. I said dropped. I'm one of them people. The trailer's landed today, and it's basically it looks like her husband and kid get killed, and she goes on like a 3-year mission to get stronger, and then comes back and just kicks shit out of everybody. It is literally like Taken. It is just Taken, but with a female lead, women power and all that.
Well, which is fine. I don't mind like similar stories being done different and stuff because that's what I prefer. I don't like if they had have called it Taken with a lipstick vengeance or something. I don't know. So, some way to do it fresh because that's what confused me with the new Oceans movie.
Taking my tampon out.
Oh no! Well, it's been good, everyone. I hope you enjoyed the first and last episode.
Oh god, we've gone to that level.
Oh dear me. But you know what I mean, because that's basically why Ghostbusters got panned, and that's why Oceans is getting panned currently, but the Oceans movie looks good. I just don't get why it had to be called Oceans. You could have literally just called that anything you want.
Yeah, because they're just going, oh yeah, it's Danny Ocean's sister.
Yeah.
It's like, you didn't need to do that, did you?
But then, I suppose saying that, it's one of those funny things where, like when it comes to video games, you put the name Pokemon on it, you can sell kids a brick and they'll buy it for a tenner. So I suppose if you put a brand on this, people will go see it just in case.
Yeah, I expect that's going to be what happens with it. Another one that's popped up, and you need to watch this trailer for this. There's a Red Band trailer out for this, and when you see it, you'll see why everybody's going wild with it. Well, everybody, I mean me. It's a film called Upgrade.
Upgrade.
And it's the new Blumhouse film. Yeah.
Oh, Red Band. Well, that sounds terrifying.
Red Band trailer. So it's been directed by Lee Wannell, who did Saw, Saw 2, Saw 3, and all that, you know, it's famous for. And it looks absolutely insane. It's basically a guy who is in a wheelchair and something happens to him, or it might be something happens to put him in a wheelchair, and it's in like set in future, and technology controls everything. And he manages to be able to... Basically, people can upgrade themselves.
All right.
So he manages to... he gets a computer chip implanted in him.
Right.
Which means that he basically becomes an absolute machine. And he just beats the hell out of anybody. And the trailer looks so brutal. There's one part in the Red Band trailer where he's behind a guy and he basically grabs his jaw and pulls his face apart.
My days.
It looks phenomenal. Can I buy tickets for it yet? Not yet.
Oh, that'd be quite good. That's actually nice that Blumhouse do something a bit different as well, because it's not that they get stale or anything, but I like that they do try different things.
Yeah, because I like the Insidiouses.
Into the eye.
The Insidious. They were all good, and I think Lee Wannell's quite good at producing, and I don't know if I think he's written this one as well, and he's got such a dark, because I mean he thought up Saw originally. I think he wrote the first 3 Saw films.
All right.
So he's pretty good at just causing carnage, so it should be good for that. Right, I don't think there's all else that I've seen coming out.
There's one very soon coming out, but it's not really like a coming soon. This is like in a week or two. It's that Hereditary. I want to go see the horror.
It's literally, that's all you see in the trailer.
It looks great. It looks so surreally creepy.
Yeah, it's Toni Collette, isn't it? And Gabriel Byrne. It looks insane. I don't really know what to expect from it. It's either going to be terrifying or Strangers.
Oh no!
Whatever, Strangers 2, which was so appalling, it would unbelievable. It might be the new Veronica.
Veronica, Netflix's scariest film ever. It's really not.
It's really not. It's kind of one of the worst horrors I've ever seen. But I'm hoping it's quite good, because it does look like insane. It looks like it's just like a complete assault on your senses from a horror and psychological kind of way. I did hear somebody were reviewing it yesterday. I heard it might have been on the Commode and Mayo podcast, and they had a standing on that. And the girl on that basically said she saw it about a week ago, and it is still staying with her.
Really?
It's terrified her.
Ooh.
So I'm hoping that's just not one of these paid for.
Well, yeah.
Paid for. You just say that this is the scariest thing you've ever seen, and then when it comes to it, it's atrocious. But we'll certainly see with that. It'd be good to see if anybody. But what I'm hoping to do at some point is get other people involved on this podcast as well, because we can use Discord and things like that to dial into these. So if anybody wants to kind of join us at any point, we can make that happen. We can get guests on just to talk random shit.
I mean, you've sold it well. I don't know who wouldn't want to come talk to us about taking my tampon out followed by show dogs and ball cupping pedophilia. Already you've got a great title for the first episode.
There's a few sound bites already in there. Just for highlight reel.
Oh no. I mean, there's highlight reels and there's people just... I mean, if they stream it, they don't have to download it anymore, so you can't even make them keep it. They're going to just turn it off straight away.
As long as it logs that somebody's listened to it, it makes us look like we've got listeners. That's all that matters. That's literally all that matters. So did you say you had something to do with some film? Were you going to do something?
Yes. So, I thought... So, you've got everything that's coming up, what's in the top 10, what we're doing recently, all that jazz. But then, you've got to do something different, and you've got to make it special. And I think we know better than everyone, is what I know straight away. I've seen movies, at least 10, and because of this, I think I am now better than everyone. And because of that, I think we could come up with our own movie ideas.
Oh, God.
Casting, stories, all that stuff. And basically, sadly for everyone, it's going to be the first and last episode because after Disney picks up my idea, I'm just going to be off on my jet.
So this idea that you've got is going to be Disney relevant.
Mine is this week. Yeah, so I had a little think about it today.
Oh God!
And I'm hoping you've got a pitch as well because any aspiring people listening, if you want our details afterwards and where to send the checks to, just let us know.
do we need to put a disclaimer on that any of these ideas that do officially get used, we need the credit for?
Oh, it's fine. We'll go to the patent office before this goes live.
Oh yeah.
We're safe. my IP is all mine. As long as I can talk the celebs I need in there, it'll be absolutely fine. So I've noticed a trend recently, and I thought, do you know what? Why I get a slice of this cheddar cheese coming my way? There's plenty of big fat mice out there, and I want to be part of them. So Disney are very popular at the moment, as they always have been, and they keep doing live action movies based on things you've already seen, stuff you love. Christopher Robin's coming out, Mary Poppins is coming out. We've had Jungle Book. We might get Lion King at some point. Where it's all going to happen, right? And it's guaranteed. Oh, Beauty and the Beast, because people have to go see it. Because A, is it as good as it was when I was young, and B, I want to go see it. Why not, yeah? And so I thought, do you know what's hot right now? It's a hot topic, because it's also on the coming soon list that we forgot. The Incredibles 2 is coming out. And I thought, yeah, a lot of people didn't watch the first Incredibles. And do you know why? Because it's good, it's animated, and people don't like cartoons. They're adults, Dave. Stop watching cartoons now. Leave them for me.
Yeah.
And I thought, how would you make that better as a live action? Easy. You hire real talent. Real, raw, unfiltered talent. And when I say talent, I mean Steve Buscemi. Because I want the Incredibles, or the Incredi-Buscemis as I'm going to call it, to be all the 4 family members were played by Steve Buscemi. Because,
like anything that Eddie Murphy's ever been in.
Yeah, because I think that's the kind of pure bliss that families and everyone will enjoy, like the delight, the young and old, by seeing Steve Buscemi's handsome face as he is Elastigirl stretching onto your screens this summer with his arch nemesis. And because, it's a reimagining, you don't have to keep it exactly like it was designed. So Samuel L. Jackson did the perfect voice for Frozone. We can't afford him. We've already spent all his money on Steve Buscemi 4 times. He gets paid for each role separately.
Oh, he's got a right gig there, hasn't he?
And so we need to bring in Dwayne Johnson, because he'll do it. He's happy. He'll do any movie.
He'll do it, yeah.
So he's the new Frozone, right? He'll be great. We'll have him in there. And obviously, we need to go against him. Who do you think of as Dwayne Johnson's arch nemesis? He beats him in every movie. We need to against. It's Emma Watson is going to be the bad guy in this one.
Obviously.
Because she's going to have her ginger wig on, and she'll be whatever the kid's called in Incredibles, because I can't remember now.
I can't remember. It's voiced by Jason Lee, wasn't it, in the original?
It was, yeah. But Emma Watson will do much better, because, she'll just be villainous. Yeah, every movie she's been in.
She comes across as villainous, yeah.
Well, that's it. I mean, that Life of a Wallflower, whatever it's called, maniac. Get her off my street. And so Steve Buscemi is going to be Jack the baby, Dash the kid, the Invisible Girl, and Elastigirl and the Strongman. But people have told me, Dave, they've seen these Star Wars movies and stuff. They've seen mustaches being removed by computers now. It's not real. It's not natural. This will be 100% practical effects, because we need to make sure that when he's going really fast, just speed it up a bit. He's climbing that building, do the Adam West technique, get on his side. Steve Buscemi will be all over your screen and in your hearts when you watch the Incredi-Buscemis.
The Incredi-Buscemis, rated 15, going to a cinema near you soon.
If you can't handle me at my worst, you don't deserve me at my Buscemis. That's the tagline. We'll get it out there.
I think we need to get in touch with Steve Buscemi's people and make this happen. I think Disney would buy this.
I think Buscemi, sadly, I bet they're already working on it. They're going to tell me they weren't, but, I get a feeling he's been interested in this role for years.
I don't think Steve Buscemi's interested in this role. I think Steve Buscemi's already got videos of him acting it out. Because if I was Steve Buscemi, I would have already acted out nearly every film that comes out of the cinema. I'd go watch a film, like, I've just seen Show Dogs. I'd go home and I'd be handling my dog's balls a lot.
Oh my dear.
It's like, yeah, I'd be going home and just pretending that I were like now Darth Vader and stuff. Just dress up, just Steve Buscemi as everything ever.
Well, I mean, he is the pure, just entertainment. That's what you think of. Who's the most electrifying man in show business? Steve Buscemi.
The Rock stood there going, no, it's me. And he's like, no, it's Steve Buscemi.
Well, that's why you need someone like The Rock to make Buscemi look better, because we all know that he is. So you just need to put some on there to be a good sidekick.
So The Rock is a sidekick to Steve Buscemi. Is that what we're saying here? The Rock is Steve Buscemi's sidekick.
I mean, there's at least 4, maybe even 5 Buscemis in this movie, so just from pure quantity over quality.
But when we're doing physical effects, how are they going to do physical effects on 4 Buscemis?
Dave, you've made everyone realise what a fool you are on this podcast now. Have you ever heard of mirrors? You put 4 mirrors in a room with Steve Buscemi and you stick a wig on each one.
What? Stick the wig on the mirror?
On the mirror?
On the mirror. So he's stood in the middle of these 4 mirrors, and on each of these mirrors there's the outfit of the characters that is now framing the actual mirror image of Steve Buscemi.
Well, you know, like when you go to the beach, Dave, it's obvious they have those clouds, they've got the pit you put your face through. It's just Buscemi needs to be active. Camera 1, it's Elastigirl Buscemi. Straight across to Big Man Buscemi. We're off to Baby Buscemi now. But he'll have to use his talent, because we know he's got it in him. He's going to have to make sure that whatever the camera's looking at him, if someone else is talking to him, but it's also Steve Buscemi, you know, for everyone at home, it's either going to need some very smart editing, or he's going to have to talk from the other side of his mouth and only face the camera side on.
Is he going to do the side-on thing so that and then when he's doing like a one-on-one chat with himself, he just turns around?
Well, we'll get the Wachowskis in there to direct, because I think they're smart siblings these days. They'll have come up with some new camera effect to help me with my vision.
It's just one camera at each side. It's just one.
Just
it's just 2 cameras. Just 2 cameras facing each other. Buscemi in the middle, stood sideways on, and he can play both parts. He just has to say one line after the other. Well, and then throw it all together and pick it up in post. I feel like a lot of this film needs picking up in post.
I mean, the only thing's going to get picked up in post, Dave, is my check from Disney after they hear this podcast.
There is no way that film can't be made now.
I mean, well, they've already said they're going to have to rethink their strategy after Soul didn't show at the box office. You come swooping in now and go, stop licking your wounds, Disney. All right, it's unbecoming of you, Walt. We've got this in the bag. Have you heard of the man, the legend, the myth, Steve Buscemi? When you ask anyone what's your favourite Disney movie and they say something stupid like Aladdin, you slap them, you go, shut up. You know it's incredible.
Steve Buscemi's actually done Disney already, hasn't he? He was one of the voices in Monsters Inc.
Was he?
He's
the bad guy.
He was the bad guy in Monsters Inc.
Right, recast. The movie's cancelled, Dave. Steve Buscemi has said to me he never works for a company more than once. Even
though in your film it had been working in the same film 4 times.
But that's how you optimise the usefulness. You only get one shot, one chance to get Buscemi in your movie. You milk that cow dry, as you said earlier.
But then, to that same effect, couldn't you cast Buscemi in 2 films, but then film both films at the same time? 2 completely different movies.
I mean, I'm not Steve Buscemi. You may be confused now because this idea is so hot right now that you've confused me with the intelligent man, Stephen Buscemi, who I am on close terms with.
I wonder if I can find his contact details on here. I wonder if he's free to come on and chat about his new film.
I mean, I'm sure if you tweeted him any kind of video, link, or image that has to do with The Incredibles, he replied to you instantly, Dave, because that's his favourite movie.
Of course it is. He's recreated it himself.
I mean, it's all our favourite movie. I've just said it's your best Disney movie. It's your best chance to make that money back. Disney's dying right now. They need help.
And I'm going to go on record and say I don't even like Incredibles. I think it's one of the weakest Pixar films.
Exactly. It's rubbish because Steve Buscemi's not in it, but you would be there first day. You'd be on that 40X seat, restrictions or not. You'd want Steve Buscemi spitting on you when he's playing all the roles.
He looks like a spitter as well. I think that Steve Buscemi in mid-rant would be the type who would spit all over everybody.
And you'd be glad of it though. You'd be pumping them smells straight in that cinema. Euphoric would that audience be?
He does like he's done quite a lot of voice acting as well. I didn't realise because he's in Hotel Transylvania. Is Wayne in Hotel Transylvania?
Wayne.
Yeah, I don't even know what that is.
Is that the werewolf?
I've not even seen it.
I think, they're great. Third one's coming out soon.
Third one is coming out soon. I do want to see it, especially if it's got Steve Buscemi. What we call it? Incredi-Buscemis?
Incredi-Buscemis? Yeah. How does that not make sense, Dave? Come on now. You've already confused people by thinking, what is a mirror? And now you've forgotten the Incredi-Buscemis.
I'll add it to my list of films must watch this year.
Bucket list for everyone.
Bucket list film. Oh god, that'll be IMDb top 250 forevermore, will that?
It's the first IMDb movie just got better than a 10. And it's just a picture of Buscemi's face. It's the rating. The chameleon of the screen, Dave.
He was a chameleon in Monsters Inc.
He was, yeah.
To bring it full circle.
Randall.
That was his character name now. I don't think there's anywhere else we can go now after we've had the Incredi-Buscemis pitch. I think that we might as well wrap it up there for today. I suppose we'll do all this again next week when there'll be some other films in top 10 and we'll jabber about them, and I'll have to make up a plot of a film myself now. I think I need to try and top the Incredi-Buscemis for next week. I'm not quite sure where I'm going to go with it, but it'll certainly be interesting. Yeah, so any final words?
No, I can't speak anymore. I think I've already damned this podcast.
Nobody's ever listening to this. But yeah, if you've got to this point, thanks for listening. That's 46 minutes of your life you're never going to get back. And tune in next week when we upload next one, whenever we talk about. See you then.
See you later.